Hi, my name's Gary Flint. I'm the large project leader for the 2006 Honda Ridgeline. We're here in beautiful Vesels Ranch in San Diego, California, and we're going to introduce into a brief explanation of the Ridgeline's off-road capabilities. We'll go ahead and enter the course and drive through the profile surfaces we created here on Vesels Ranch. This is about a 5,000 square foot ranch that Scoop Vesels has been kind enough to let us develop an off-road course on, and it gives us a chance over a variety of surfaces to demonstrate the off-road capabilities of this vehicle. This is something that we've defined as medium-duty off-road. It's got a couple of components that we think are interesting. It kind of illustrates some of the vehicle's capabilities. First thing we're going to come to is water fording. This is actually not real severe. It just shows, again, it's a mild stream crossing, shows approach, departure angle, some breakover capabilities. This is followed by some loose surface. It's kind of we've gotten a lot of rain yesterday, so we've got a lot of mud and soft surface formed. Of course, with the VTM4, it just applies power to the appropriate wheel wherever it's necessary in order to keep you on course. And through some of this, you can actually feel the VSA function, again, braking the appropriate wheel to try to keep you on path. Up here at the corner, we're going to enter up on one of the first hill climbs. This is a pretty short hill. And then we're going to enter a series of 3 hills. We're going to run across the appropriate name, the ridgeline of this area. And it's kind of a loose, rutted surface here that we're going through, a little bit of traction action here. And this is our first hill. Not too severe, it's pretty easy going. And I'll come up to the base of the next hill. This is actually an extremely severe hill. This is a 28-degree profile course. It's a pretty loose surface, and you should be able to feel a lot of the traction control go into action here. Again, this is about the most severe hill we think anyone will tackle with this kind of vehicle. It's pretty rough. And you can feel the VSA up. We actually killed it with the VSA off, because I hit the cruise button instead of VSA. So we're going to back down the hill now. And we'll show one of the other modes of the vehicle. So now we're going to engage VTM4 lock with VSA off. And we'll take another run at the hill. This is actually a pretty loose surface. So now in this mode, I've got full power going to the rear axle. I've got full control of the throttle. And as you can see, we easily climb the hill with no difficulty. And that was actually a 28-degree hill with loose surface on it. And then the remainder of the hills are not quite as steep. This hill here is about a 28-degree slope, but it's actually much shorter in duration, so it isn't quite as challenging. Again, you can feel the suspension cycle. It's got really good suspension travel. The body's extremely stiff, so from a stability standpoint, you can really feel the torsional rigidity of the body, and of course, the bending stiffness as well are really good. It's up about 2.5 times stiffer in bending than the rest of the vehicles on the market segment, and about 20 times stiffer in torsion. And those are the most challenging 3 hills on the course. The rest of it is a series of profile surfaces. So it's various terrains with some light corners, more like an autocross course. Kind of feel the action of the VSA kick in as we go around some of the course. Actually, it's pretty good shape here up on top on the ridge. The sun that we've got today is dried out, so it's not quite as slippery as it was earlier today. So we run over some of these profile surfaces. We're going to come onto a fire trail here. It's actually a paved, partially paved surface, partially covered in dirt. Part of the road actually, the rains we got here a couple of weeks ago, part of these surfaces actually washed out, and there's some grading required to try to restore this road back to a passable condition. Down here you can actually see an area where the road actually completely washed out. In this area there's an area that was filled in. There was actually an 8-foot deep washout up there to the right where the road completely became impassable. And we've bypassed that around, and we're going out through a loose surface here. We'll see what kind of shape this is in. There may be some areas where we really get into the bog down here at the bottom of the hill. As we run over this course, we're getting a variety of suspension inputs. You can get a feel for how solid the car is. Down here is some of the bog that I was mentioning. It's a really loose, muddy surface, so you'll be able to feel some of the tractive capabilities and some of the power transfer going to the appropriate wheel with the loose soil. Again, we had no trouble passing through that at all. So over the course of this this off-road course is really what we're trying to distribute as kind of medium-duty off-road. It's something we might expect this type of buyer to do in some kind of a situation where he's going motorcycling or camping and trying to access some fire trails. And certainly it's more severe than perhaps many people will ever do with this type of vehicle. And this is actually a mild autocross course. Again, I'll try not to drive too fast to upset you, but you can feel the VSA function as I kind of force it around some of the corners. You can feel it brake and apply directional control. Here we have some loose surfaces. Down here at the base of the hill through the meadow, we've got another stream crossing. This is a lot more severe than the other crossing, gives a flavor for some of the water fording capabilities. Again, we got a lot of rain and some real soft surfaces down here, and like I say, we have no trouble traversing through this. And we'll go ahead and go through. Up on the side through the slimy mud. And we'll go ahead and do a little twist action. We'll traverse through the V-ditch, kind of up on one side. You can feel it kind of slip around. Actually, some of the other courses, those hills, we actually had to pull off from the course because the trench out beyond the hill became full of about 4 feet of water, so we couldn't actually make it through that because of all the rain we had last night. And then finally, here we have moguls, or a twister. So running over this, we can actually get one of the wheels about 4 feet in the air. It again shows the rigidity of the body as we go over it. I'm going to go over it real slow, and you can feel the fork transfer from one wheel to the other. It's in full automatic mode right now. And it's really very smooth transfer of power, and it'll pull you right through. So it's automatic differential lock, VSA system, and completely confident system to drive on pretty rough terrain. That's it.